Okay, this is a short introduction into how you get started with the worship team when your account gets set up. So what would first happen is an administrator, which are one of the ones in the people tab with the slash by them, lightning bolt, would have opened up, added you to an account. So they'd have gone add person, and they would have put in your name. I'm just going to make a false one here. And they would type in your an email account in there, and they'd probably put you down for their sort of your lead activity, and that will then get sent off to you. So very shortly, quick email should turn up with the invite for the use of worship team. So you'd end up with an email like this. You then need to click on this link to activate your login. Absolutely vital you do this. If you don't get this email, do have a good look in your spam folder, because unless you find it, you can't actually complete the login. So you can click on complete setup, and it will then bring you to this page. First thing you can do is choose a username. So in this case, I'll call myself Paul Demo 2. Call whatever you like. This is what you'll actually use to log in, so it's worth to make it one word. And then you can type in a password, click on the agree to terms of service, join there. So you can now continue to the dashboard. Now this is sort of an overview of what services are coming up. But the main thing to do now is actually go over to people, find yourself, Paul Demo, click on there, and then you can actually change some of your here's it. So you can change your primary skill, but you can then add secondary skills as well. So in this case, I'll say he's good with the computer, he's good with the soundboard, he's a dab hand with the cello. So you can save that in there. You can also put a bit of other details about yourself in as well. So that gives you basically your setup. You're then available then to be rostered. Okay, this next clip of the video will actually show you how you can log in as a user and see which services you're available for, how to set time when you're not available, and see which services you're involved in. So I've set myself at the logo demo again. Log in as yourself, and you'll get a dashboard view. You've not actually been allocated to any of these services at the moment. These are just ones that are coming up. So if you go over to services, over here you can add away time. So for example, I can say that I'm away from the 4th of June. Note this is American date, so it's 06/04/2010 through to say the 11th of June. You add a reason if you want. Purely optional. Add. And you can see down here that you've got a marker saying that you're away for that period of time. Now the eagle-eyed among you would have spotted that I've actually made a slight mistake here and put myself in twice for being away. So you can correct that quite easily. You can click on the away times tab over here, and you can do one of two things. You can either edit a value by clicking on that one, or you can delete it. So if I realise I've just clicked delete on there, or I can click up edit and change the dates, change the reason, add, and that's then corrected that one. So that's how you put your away times in, and that really helps a worship team leader actually build up the team for a service. In this part of the video, we're now going to look at how we add people to teams and then add teams to services. I should say that there's a slight issue that at the moment, as of the 28th of May, the team functionality seems to have been temporarily broken. But I'll show you how it should work and how you put individuals in, and hopefully by the time this video comes out it should all work hunky-dory. So the first thing you do is actually put people into teams. So we pick up the Paul Demo here, click on them, double click, here's their profile, and you can add them to teams here. So I've already added this one to music group A. Literally type in there, you can select the teams. You can have people in multiple teams as well, so they could be part of 2 teams if they wanted to be. So that's how you add people into teams. So how do you actually add people into services? Well, if we go back to a service, you have to be an administrator to do this. You can, if I click on this one here, morning service, you can add people individually to the service. So here's a list of people going through here, and you can select their roles as they do so. For example, on this service here, we're going to add the worship leader. Now we have an option here of inviting or adding. Inviting sends them an invite, which means they get an email that says, please can you take part, and they're given the option of accepting or declining. It's obviously the polite way. You can also just force an add as well. I suggest you use the invite. So we'll invite Fred, but Fred's got a few. Fred's skill is piano, so we'll just invite him, and we'll add the Paul demo person who is here. Now he's got some skills in here. We're not going to use him for his cello playing, but instead we'll use him for his computer capabilities on there. And we'll add Mr. Pavarotti on his vocals. So we'll send an invite, set Paul to demo, send him an invite, and we'll invite Mr. Pavarotti as well. Done adding. And you can see here we've got their status is we don't know if they've replied yet, so the user hasn't responded. You can override that if you want to, and you can also, as you can see, resend the invite. So I shall add myself as well. So I'm going to be doing the sound today. Invite, done adding, so I'm in there, and very soon should receive an email inviting me to the service. Okay, the invite's turned up, it's here, and then I can actually decide whether I want to accept or decline it. I can also click on the details and it'll bring up the details. So I'll just go accept. I've now accepted that position for that service. Click on details, it would bring me back to this screen effectively, which says who's in there. So that's how you add individual people. As I said, you can add an entire team. So I could actually invite all of music group A to come along to this. But as I say, at the moment there's a slight issue that those people unfortunately aren't coming through. Hopefully they'll be fixed. In the meantime, just individually go through as you do it. And that's how you add people. If you had a conflict, say someone's saying back and said no, you can also look at here to see when people are available. So if I look carefully, I'd put my own availability of Paul demo away, I could have realised actually he wasn't capable of coming on the 7th, so I could then look for someone else. So that's how people are added to services.